Namaste, my fellow citizens. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's close to my heart, the defense of our government. Hello everyone, my name is Kishan Rabdiya and you are watching the Inside India Politics channel. As a member of the Indian Armed Forces, I have seen firsthand the sacrifices that our soldiers make to ensure the safety and security of our nation. Whether it's defending our borders, providing relief during natural disasters, or maintaining peace in troubled areas, our soldiers are always ready to serve our country. But our defense is not just the responsibility of the armed forces. It's the duty of every citizen of India to support and protect our government. Whether you are a doctor saving lives, a farmer feeding the nation, or an entrepreneur driving economic growth, your contribution matters. By working together, we can strengthen our government and protect our nation. So, let us all come together and pledge to defend our government, to support our armed forces, and to work towards a brighter future for our beloved India. The recent attack was a reminder of the constant threat that we face as a nation. But we are prepared to face these challenges, and our government is doing everything in its power to keep us safe. Soldier, the defense of our government is a multi-layered approach, involving not just the armed forces, but also intelligence agencies, law enforcement, and the support of the citizens. We work together to gather intelligence, prevent attacks, and respond to threats in a coordinated and efficient manner. News anchor, that's very reassuring to hear. But how can the citizens of India support the defense of our government? Soldier, there are many ways that citizens can contribute to our nation's defense. For example, they can join the armed forces, or they can report suspicious activities to the authorities. They can also support the families of our soldiers who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. As you all know, our government is responsible for making sure that our country is safe and secure. But did you know that it's not just the job of our soldiers to protect our nation? That's right. Each and every one of us has a role to play in keeping India safe. Whether it's learning basic first aid, volunteering in your community, or even just being aware of your surroundings, there are many things that you can do to help our government keep us safe. Soldier, and remember, the defense of our government is not just about protecting our physical borders. It's also about defending our values and way of life. By pledging to defend our government and our country, you are joining a long and proud tradition of patriotism and service. India has a long history of investing in its defense capabilities, but the country ranking is the third largest military spender in the world, behind only the United States and China. In 2020, India's defense budget was approximately $66.9 billion, which represents an increase of over 6% from the previous year. Significant portion of India's defense budget is allocated towards modernizing and strengthening the country's armed forces. This includes investments in areas such as military equipment, infrastructure, and technology. India also faces security threats from its borders, with ongoing disputes with neighboring countries such as China and Pakistan. However, India has made significant efforts to improve its border security, including the construction of border fencing and the deployment of more troops. India has made strides in the development of its domestic defense industry, with initiatives such as the Make in India program aimed at boosting domestic manufacturing of defense equipment. These efforts have not only helped to strengthen India's defense capabilities, but also support the growth of its economy and create jobs. News anchor, that's certainly impressive. But what about the human cost of defense? It's important to remember that the defense of our government also comes at a cost to our brave soldiers who put their lives on the line to protect our country. India has the second largest military force in the world, with over 1.4 million active personnel, and it's important that we honor their sacrifices and support them and their families. But what about the everyday citizen? What can they do to support the defense of our government? While the responsibility of defense falls primarily on our armed forces, there are many things that citizens can do to support the cause. One important aspect is to be aware and vigilant of security threats in your community. Additionally, citizens can support the growth of India's defense industry by purchasing Indian-made products and supporting domestic manufacturers. It's important to show support and gratitude for our armed forces, whether it's through participating in events or simply thanking them for their service. It's clear that defense is not just the responsibility of the government and military, but of all citizens. India faces several security challenges, ranging from cross-border terrorism to insurgent activities in certain regions of the country. However, the country's defense forces have been successful in deterring such threats through a combination of advanced technology and effective training. For instance, India has made significant investments in surveillance technology, including unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and satellite imagery, which have helped the country monitor and track the movement of insurgents and terrorists. Additionally, India's armed forces have undergone extensive training to handle a range of security threats, including urban warfare and counter-terrorism operations. These efforts have resulted in successful operations, such as the surgical strikes carried out by India in 2016 and 2019 against terrorist camps across the border. However, it's important to note that the defense of our government is an ongoing process, and India must continue to adapt and innovate to address new and emerging security challenges. That's certainly a complex task. How does India compare to other countries in terms of defense capabilities? India's defense capabilities are among the strongest in the world, with a highly skilled and trained armed forces, advanced technology, and a growing domestic defense industry. However, it's important to note that defense is a constantly evolving field, and India must continue to invest in research and development to maintain its competitive edge. According to the Global Firepower Index, which ranks countries based on their defense capabilities, India currently ranks 4th in the world, behind the United States, Russia, and China. While this is a positive indicator, India must continue to invest in defense to stay ahead of emerging security threats and maintain its position in the global defense arena. Many of India's defense systems are outdated and in need of replacement, which can be a costly and time-consuming process. India will need to continue to invest in defense to keep pace with other major players in the global defense industry. While India's defense budget has increased over the years, it still lags behind that of the United States and China. Another challenge is the need to address the shortage of skilled personnel in the defense industry. Expert: India's armed forces are among the largest in the world, but there is a shortage of skilled personnel in areas such as cybersecurity and drone operations. To address this, India will need to invest in training and education programs to build a skilled workforce that can keep pace with emerging technologies. These are certainly complex challenges that will require sustained effort and investment. How is the government addressing these challenges? The Indian government has launched several initiatives to address these challenges. For example, the Make in India initiative is aimed at promoting the growth of the domestic defense industry and reducing India's dependence on imports. The government has set up programs to train personnel in areas such as cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. While these are positive steps, India will need to continue to innovate and invest in research and development to address these challenges and maintain its position as a global leader in defense. Partnerships with other countries are a critical aspect of India's defense strategy. Through such partnerships, India can leverage the expertise and resources of other countries to strengthen its own defense capabilities. India has conducted joint military exercises with countries such as the United States, Japan, and Australia, which have helped to build greater interoperability between Indian and foreign forces. India has developed defense partnerships with countries such as Israel and Russia, which have provided India with access to advanced technology and equipment. These partnerships have helped India to build a strong defense industry and become more self-reliant in defense. That's certainly a positive development. Are there any specific partnerships that are particularly noteworthy? Yes, one notable partnership is the India-France Defense Cooperation. This partnership has led to joint development and production of advanced military hardware such as fighter jets and submarines. France has provided India with access to advanced technology in areas such as nuclear energy and satellite technology. This partnership has helped India to strengthen its defense capabilities and become a key player in the global defense industry. India has a critical role to play in maintaining regional security and stability in South Asia. As one of the largest and most powerful countries in the region, India's actions have a significant impact on the security of neighboring countries. In recent years, India has taken steps to strengthen its partnerships with neighboring countries, including through initiatives such as the Neighborhood First policy. India has played an active role in peacekeeping operations in countries such as Sri Lanka, and has been involved in efforts to promote peace and stability in Afghanistan. These efforts have helped to build greater trust and cooperation between India and its neighbors, and have contributed to greater regional stability. That's certainly an important role for India to play. How does India balance its role in maintaining regional security with its own defense needs? Balancing regional security with national defense needs can be a delicate balancing act. However, India's defense strategy is aimed at ensuring that it has the capabilities to defend itself while also maintaining strong partnerships with neighboring countries. India's defense spending has increased in recent years, which has helped to build a strong defense industry and improve India's defense capabilities. India's focus on domestic defense manufacturing through initiatives such as Make in India has helped to reduce its dependence on imports and build a more self-reliant defense industry. Modernizing the defense sector is a critical aspect of India's defense strategy. It is essential to ensure that India's armed forces have the latest equipment and technology to defend the country's borders. India has taken significant steps to modernize its defense sector. For example, the government has launched several initiatives such as Make in India and Defense Innovation Fund to encourage domestic manufacturing of defense equipment and foster innovation in the sector. These initiatives have helped to increase the share of domestic defense production in India, which has grown from 30% to 45% in the last decade. India has signed several major defense deals with countries such as the United States, Russia, and France to acquire advanced military technology and equipment. While India continues to import a significant amount of defense equipment, its defense exports have also been growing in recent years. That's certainly impressive progress. What are some of the specific areas where India is focusing its modernization efforts? India is focusing its modernization efforts on several key areas, including air and missile defense, naval modernization, and the development of unmanned systems. India is also investing heavily in research and development to develop new defense technologies, such as hypersonic missiles and unmanned combat systems. These efforts are essential to ensure that India's defense capabilities remain strong and that it is able to respond to emerging security challenges. That's all for our special report on the defense of our government in India. We hope you found this informative and gained a deeper understanding of India's defense strategy, challenges, and partnerships. As we've seen, India faces many challenges in maintaining its defense and security, but the government's investments in modernizing the defense sector and building partnerships with other countries are helping to strengthen its capabilities. And thank you to all our viewers for watching. Join us again next time for more in-depth analysis and reporting on the issues that matter.